Should I go?
Jane here is a sales rep for a major North American conglomerate. She uses the Salesforce1 mobile app to do all of her sales and sales-related activities wherever she goes. And she goes wherever the deal takes her. So she can negotiate face-to-face with Sue, a shrewd sarsaparilla shipper from Saskatchewan. Accepting her terms, she immediately sends a pricing request to HQ, while her sales manager Karen briefly interrupts her morning racquetball meeting with assistant Drew to send an instant reply, approving said request, making Sue and her staff some very happy customers. She heads off to meet with longtime customer and tech mogul Carl, makes a sale, and shows him their new loyalty app built on the Salesforce platform, allowing him to quickly go from points earning to rewards reaping. Jane then takes a quick detour after finding a new opportunity. Once found, acquaintances are made. Her schmoozing is successful and information is exchanged, allowing her to create a new contact, even though she's offline. Automatically syncing the second she's back in range. And with a little grit and some determination, she weathers the storm, thanks to the help of Sales Path Guidance, to close a whale of a deal with Pete off the coast of Barbary. Heading off to whatever obscure location the next deal takes her, closing more deals in more places in less time. Run your business from your phone and sell from anywhere with Salesforce1.
Well, that's one of the great things of Salesforce. We can't be serious. We never take anything very seriously. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. It's my pleasure to have you all here. I'm Paolo Bergamo, a Senior Vice President of the mobile platform and the mobile apps. I've been with the company for 11 years. Actually, I started my career at Salesforce as a BlackBerry developer. Do you remember that thing? It's pretty amazing. But I know the pain as a developer. I know the pain of building mobile applications. That's why I'm so excited today to talk to you about Salesforce1 as a platform. And before we start, of course, we are a public traded company, so please make purchase decision based exclusively on what's currently available on the market. So before we get into why we built Salesforce1 and how we built Salesforce1, I need to create a little bit of the context on how we had the idea of Salesforce1. And if you arbitrarily think that the smartphone revolution started 10 years ago with the first iPhone, just arbitrarily, right? There's been 10 years in which there's been a lot of paradigm shifts, if you think about it. You use the phone a lot differently than what you were using it 10 years ago. And what we are seeing today as a trend is that there is a there's very few apps that actually consume most of your time on the phone. Think about it. Actually, stats from IDC say that you spend 85% of your time on the phone, you spend it on 5 apps only. But what we are seeing is that there's an aggregation of services inside these apps. These apps, they are becoming super apps. The super apps, they let you do a lot of things. They let you use other services. Think about Facebook Messenger and the chatbots. Uber, you can order an Uber through that. Or Google Maps, you can order Uber through that as well. So you see this aggregation, you see fewer apps. Why this is happening? Fundamentally, it's happening because one single app that has all your credentials, it's a lot better than a lot of apps that you need to find on the phone, right? It's a universal identity. That's the power of it. It's also the fact that when Uber updates their service, the chatbot Facebook Messenger will automatically get the update as well. So it's a seamless update of all the services in the backend. And of course, it's because they are easy to use. That's always why an application wins, right? So taking this as a context, we actually thought about building the super app for all employees, Salesforce1. So we started this project about 5 years ago. And 5 years after, we actually have 1.3 million active users on this app. And this is truly the app for all employees. Not only gives you access to all your CRM objects, like accounts and contacts and so forth, but we also will also give you access to any customization you have ever done on Salesforce automatically, just like that, right? And of course, it runs on all the most popular devices. And you as a developer don't need to take care of all the upgrades to the latest operating system because we do that for you. In the usual traditional Salesforce philosophy, we try to do all the hard things for you so that you focus on the innovation. You don't focus on supporting new devices and new operating systems and so forth. This is how, using Salesforce1, this is how Unilever, a insane worldwide brand, consumer good products, right? They have brands like Axe, the deodorant, or Tea Lipton, or all these type of things. They actually been with a Salesforce customer for about 7 years, and about 4 years ago, they came to us and said, well, we have a mobile problem. We have a lot of employees. They have actually about 94,000 employees. And they all are very mobile. They visit the remote offices all the time. They report problems in stores, something that's misplaced in a store, things like this. They have truly a collaboration problem, traveling this much as well. So they came to us, and we designed together a strategy based on Salesforce1. So the beauty is this, that with Salesforce1, they could, from ideation to actually roll out and train all their users on 6 new brand apps, it took only 6 months for them to do this. If you all live in an enterprise world, and you know it's crazy that you roll out 6 apps in 6 months, right? From ideation to actual rollout. So this is a great success story, but there's 84,000 customers who's using Salesforce1 at its full potential right now. So how does it look like? Why is Salesforce1 so successful? First of all, it's a modern application. As soon as you start Salesforce1, you see it starts with a feed. I think you guys are familiar with Chatter. I don't think you need to, I need to sell you Chatter, but collaboration is front and center, everything you do on the mobile phone. And there's also quick actions. If you look at the bottom part of Salesforce1, there's like quick actions. They are designed for how you use your data and how you use the system. And of course, there is a very simple navigation paradigm with the stage left, and you scroll through all the navigation menus you may have to use, okay? But the beauty of Salesforce, the Salesforce1 is really, it keeps up with improvement of the Salesforce platform. Right? Every time we have a new feature on the Salesforce platform, it will show up in Salesforce1. You guys heard yesterday about Einstein. Of course, we launched the last Dreamforce. And you can expect this to be available on Salesforce1, and it is already. Each cloud is powered by Einstein, as you know, and each cloud now has a feature on Salesforce1 as well, right? And just I am on this slide, I just show 3 from the Sales Cloud, just to give you an example. Real-time forecasting, because especially when you are a manager, you always want to know how you're gonna go against your quota effectively, right? If you need to spend extra cycles and figure out if you're in trouble or not. Predictively scoring, so that as a sales reps, you want to know what are the most likely leads to be converted to opportunities. And of course, when you finally have an opportunity, you want to know what's next. What are the next steps I need to do to maximize the likely to close the opportunity? Just 3 simple examples. So count on Salesforce1 to keep up with the core platform. Okay. And you saw it on the video, and that was, funny video, but it made a point there. You may be in a condition in which you have to work when you are disconnected. It may be on a plane, but it may also be on a BART. How frustrating it is that you start trying to update records, to approve records, to whatever it is that you need to do, or even scroll through information, and you can't do it. Well, Salesforce1 is offline enabled, meaning there's a local cache. You can do work on the local cache. As soon as you have a stable connectivity, it's going to push all the changes back to the server. Okay? Now, we talked about Salesforce1 as an application, so to speak, out-of-the-box application. But it is truly a platform. And the beauty of Salesforce1 as a platform is that you can push your customizations, your apps in the Salesforce world straight to the device of all your employees, but you don't have to ask them to download a new client. That's the magic of it. You create an expense management application, you save button, then you just push to all the devices. Okay, guys, 11 years ago, as I said, I was developing on BlackBerry. You know how hard it is to have all your users always on the latest version of the app you build. It's just insane. And we do this this is why we designed Salesforce1 in this way, to make it easy for you to have all your users always on the latest version of your implementation, okay? And of course, it supports every web technology. You can build this in Lightning. You can build a customization in Visualforce, JavaScript. You can host in Heroku if you want, or in Salesforce Core, whatever this you're familiar with. And if you are comfortable with a Lightning app builder, you can use that too, and we're going to have a demo actually later on. So you can do it declaratively, and you can do it programmatically, whatever is your choice. Okay. Now, talked enough about it. We all coders, developers, admins, we want to see things in action. So let's start with a demo. I'm going to ask a person in the audience, Sam, to come on stage to help me out. Please, a warm welcome to Sam.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Mittal. I'm a platform solution engineer, platform architect, but really I'm a nerd at the heart. And my charter is to really help and educate customers on the full gamut of our Salesforce platform and really help you, the customers, to get maximum ROI on your Salesforce. So today, I'm really excited to demonstrate my favorite app, Salesforce1, which is the first app which I do to plan my day in the morning, and the last thing I do before I go to bed to take care of any pending task.
Perfect. You see, he's the nerd, and he's got a jacket, and I'm the PM. All right. So things change. The world is changing. All right. So Sam, while you prepare the demo real quick, here is what we're going to do today. Today I'm going to play the part of a quality assurance inspector in a company called Imagery. Imagery builds cameras, lenses, optical components. Okay, and as an inspector, you can imagine I'm always on the road. And I'm pretty lucky. My IT department is pretty cutting edge. And Sam is actually my admin doing all the implementations. Right? And I'm lucky because I do have Salesforce1 already on my phone. And let's open up just real quick. Let's orientate people. How many people are familiar with Salesforce1? Fair amount. Great. So let me give you a few things, just a quick tour here. Right? We start with the feed. You see all the quick actions on the bottom side. And then you tap on the stage left, the top left corner button, and you see all the objects, which are productivity tools like tasks and notes and calendar, and your CRM objects and so forth. And then if you scroll back to the feed and you tap on the bell on the top right side, you're going to see all the urgent things you need to do for the day. Okay, all the relevant things to you. All right. But here's the thing. I was saying I have a mobile problem. Like Unilever, I have a mobile problem. I'm on the road all the time, and I inspect things. When I inspect things today, I actually literally have to write things down on a piece of paper, go back at night and start typing things. This is not efficient. I hate it. Most of the times I forget things. You know how this works, right? You want to capture things in the moment. So Sam is my fearless admin. Can you do anything for me? Can you help me out?
Absolutely. So as a caring admin, my job is to really help all the constituents in my company. So as my inspector on the floor. So to do that, as you think about building an app, first thing you need to do is visualize the data model, right? And in Salesforce, you have something called custom objects. So I'm going to use custom objects to capture this custom information. And to really visualize the data model, you need to use, you can use on the screen, like going to the object, creating there, or you can use one of the favorite tools called Schema Builder, right? Which is really a whiteboard for your data model, where I have an inspection object to gather various details about the inspection. And not only that, I can also augment this object. As we know, today, speed is the currency for the business. So if I need to add more fields, like notes, so I can easily add inspection notes. I will say 99, a text, and save it. And that's how easy it is to augment the fields. Not only that, since Salesforce is a unified platform and everything funnels to single database, I can also help my sales reps. I can connect this custom object to existing standard CRM object, like account or contact. So here, I have already created a relationship with account object. And that way, my sales rep can have visibility when the product is ready to ship.
Sam, you're a lifesaver. Let's see in action. So let's pull up Salesforce1. I'm on the road, and I want to start seeing all the notes on all the inspection notes I capture. So I assume I'm going to go in stage left, right? And I'm going to scroll down through the menu and find the new objects. We're going to see that we're going to pull down to refresh just to force the changes, but the changes will be picked up regardless, okay? So, I see now the inspections object. Let's tap on it. For the demo, we pre-populated a few records. Tap on a record of your choice, and let's see what we see here. Okay. This looks fantastic. Can you actually scroll to the feed? So see, kept all the interactions you do around all these records. They are all there. It's pretty fantastic, and you can even see more relevant information when the note was created, all these type of things. Fantastic. So Sam, this is fantastic. Now I feel like I'm a little disconnected now, though, right? I have the notes. I know what account I went to, but I know we have in the ERP system, in a SAP system, in fact, we have all the components, they are parts of a camera. Would it be great if you could mesh this information for me? Is there a way you can do this?
Yeah, as a savvy admin, I explore my options. So I can do, create a web interface over SAP and then create a mobile app. But then my inspector has to log into 2 different apps and then manage the credentials. Or I can go and leverage the standard API like SOAP and REST, but then there is a data synchronization problem with being SAP and Salesforce. But as I said, I'm a savvy admin, so I'm going to use something called Salesforce Connect, which is really integration on steroids. And with Salesforce Connect, it's really that you are not copying the data, but really referencing the data in real time when you need it. So you always have the latest and the greatest view without worrying about data going stale. And to accomplish that, first thing I need to do is create an external data source connection. So I'm going to use this beautiful quick search to find external data source. And there I have SAP endpoint, where if you notice, there are some housekeeping parameters like the name, and then the imperative part of the configuration is this OData endpoint, which is a standard way to connect applications, which really creates this HTTP endpoint. And then there are some optimization parameters, obviously authentication, and that's it. So it's totally point and click, drag and drop. I can create integration within minutes. And I just save it. Now, if I go back to this source, right, and click on this, I call it magical button, validate and sync, Salesforce Connect makes a real-time call to SAP and pull all the metadata, all the tables for me to pick and choose. So obviously, I want to select products today, but later on, if I want to select more, I can do that easily without overhauling my integration. So I select products, and then I again click sync. Now, at this point, Salesforce Connect is again making a real-time call to get this metadata information and populating that in the form of Salesforce external objects, which is nothing actually. If I click on that, you will feel that it's analogous to our standard or custom object. So you can see the fields, the different custom fields, so you can create actually more friendly names for your different constituents rather than having them understanding what's that complex SAP name means. And then you can create page layouts. All the layers of security of the Salesforce is behind you with this external data source as well. Now, to fulfill my inspector's request, I need to do one last thing, is to connect this newly created external object to my inspection object. So I go to my object manager. How many of you, by the way, use Lightning today? It's pretty exciting, right? To really search through all the objects. So here, I search for inspection object, go here, go to the page layout, click on this, and now I can drop this product field somewhere in the middle. And that's it. Paul, I'm ready again.
Oh, whoa. So you connect the SAP. It looks like an object in Salesforce, but there's no synchronization happening. And now, if I go back to Salesforce1, you're seeing that in the layout, you're saying that in the layout of the record, I'm going to see essentially a hyperlink, a lookup field. Is that right? So let's refresh to force the updates. And now it's going to refresh and refresh. All right, and now we have a new field in the center of the screen. It's called product, you see? It's D600. I click on it, and I'm now displaying information, essentially, tap on it, and I'm going to see information essentially coming from SAP. Isn't it great? Isn't it fantastic, actually? I mean, that's mind-boggling. OK, so now you see that you have you remember the super app concept, right? You don't have to learn new paradigms of navigation. You don't have to do multiple logins. You don't have to learn multiple apps. This is the same. This is how we build Salesforce1, OK? And so, OK, Sam, one more challenge for you. Like, you give me access to all the information, historical information, all the inspections I've done. How can I create or update a new inspection? I don't have that action on the bottom bar.
Sure. So I understand as an empathetic admin that this is a recurring problem. So I'm going to use something called custom actions to solve your puzzle. Custom actions is really a way to define user contextual actions to update or create the record. So here I'm on my inspection object. I click on button links and actions, say new action. I want to update the record, and I will give a simple name, inspect. Keep the love icon there. And then I will just select minimal number of fields. So for example, structurally sound, final outcome, and inspection date.
So those are all the fields are available, but you just, for updates purposes, you're saying you just pick a few of them to streamline the experience, right?
Yep. And
that's great.
I'll select maybe inspection notes. And I take out the serial number because I know I'm in the same page. And I just save it. So,
all right.
Now, I need to also reduce one keystroke for my admin. So I'm going to do predefine the end inspection date and default it to today's date, because I know my inspector is doing inspection on the same day. So
I like when people think I'm lazy. Thank you, Sam.
And I again go to my page layout. And I have this, hopefully, this new button, inspect, and I can drop in my Lightning actions. And I save it, and I'm done.
All right, I know this is going to work. So let's pull up Salesforce1. And the place in which you see the actions are on the bottom side, right? And there is no inspect now, but I'm going to do a pull down to refresh to force the updates. And hopefully, I'm going to have in the first position. There it is. Let's tap on it, and let's see if all the fields that Sam mobilized, they're there. That's pretty incredible. Now I can update or create a new inspection right here, and it's the first action I see on my layout. So let's do a little something else, OK? Sam, like I have all these actions, everything done right now. So one thing I don't have is to be able to plan for my day, right? It would be great if you could give me a list on an app in which I can go and see all the things I need to do today. Can you do that?
I know, Paulo, you are asking me too many things for an admin to do. But
I'm also a product manager. So.
Yeah. But I'm a loving admin, so I never get pestered. So I'm going to fulfill your request. And I'm going to use something called Lightning App Builder. So Lightning App Builder helps you to create very slick single-page apps in a snap. So again, I go to my setup, home, search for this nifty tool called App Builder, say new, where I can design pages for different places in my app. So I'm going to select App Page, say next. I'm going to call it Pending Inspection, say next. And then there are different ways I can configure. I'm going to select just 3 columns for the simplicity, finish. And now I'm presented with this beautiful canvas where on the leftmost side, you see the standard components, which is based on Salesforce open standard or a framework, right? And then, obviously, there are some business niche requirements, so I can have my developers crank out that code without me worrying about those weed stuff, and I can just drag and drop here. And then I can also take power of Salesforce ecosystem by leveraging the custom components. So let's design this page where I just drop the rich text to provide the context, what this page is about. I can make it beautiful as I want, and then let's put the filter list, which is the primary ask. Obviously, I want to work on inspection object. And I want to have my outstanding inspections. And then, as a freebie, I want to also motivate my inspector. So I'm going to put a CSAT survey.
Whoa, CSAT, I don't want that. All right, let's see how it looks like. So I'm going to be able to see all the feedback I got from my customers with this. Is that right?
Yep.
All right. Oops. All right. You guys familiar with this interface, the Lightning App Builder? Now, a lot of you are on Lightning, but this is the new way people are going to build applications in the business applications in the future. So. We ready?
Yep, so I save it, and now I need to do one last thing, is activate. So I know you just asked case, and I'm going to place this at the top. So
all right, put it on the top. That's the first thing I do in my day, so.
Pending inspection,
all right.
Save, and I'm done.
All right, let's see how it looks like on the phone. Let's pull up Salesforce1. I'm going to the navigation all the way to the left. Again, I'm going to force the updates. And now I should be able to see, push a little, yeah, there it is, pending inspections. And I tap on it, it pulls the data. These are all my visits. It took a fraction of a minute to do this. And I also have a scary CSAT right there to remind me that I need to do a good job. All right, that's great. What can I ask you? Let's see, I'm getting excited about this. So. Here's the thing, Sam, when I'm on a visit and there is a problem with one of the components, typically I have to get extra scrutiny from my manager, my evil manager, Eugene, who's in the room right now. And this is how it works. You write down, in the old world, I was writing down, typing notes, and then I would send them an email with a picture saying, hey, I think it needs replacement, I want to get your opinion, and then Eugene will maybe get the email, maybe forget, you know how it is, blah, blah, blah. So how can we streamline this process in a digital way?
Okay. So now I'm also what kind of an admin? I'm a creative admin, right? So I'll put my hat in the ring, and I will now use something called Process Builder. So Process Builder, you guys are developing workflows on Salesforce, right, from so many years. But Process Builder really makes this workflow development streamlined. So you can bring the business constituents and the analysts so that they can design these flowchart kind of workflows. So here I have, in the interest of time, notify, inspection, Process Builder created, where obviously the first object that I want to operate on is inspection. The condition is I want to notify inspector when there is a minor defect. And finally, the actions. So I have created 2 actions. One is to notify the QA manager, and the second is inspection approval, where I have created an approval process, and I have teed that with the Process Builder. So now you can do that approval process in the Process Builder itself. And I say activate, confirm, and now I'm ready to go.
Oh, wow. So now when I create a new expression and I say there is a problem with it, then my manager receives a push notification. They will review the case and then see if it is approved or not. All right, let's try it. So let's go to the app and let's create or update a new an inspection. And we can also capture, you remember the actions we just built, the inspect action. I'm going to tap on it, and I'm going to fill out a few things, a minor defect. That's fine. Do we have, we can upload a picture. That's actually an important part of the problem. There's some scratches here and so forth. Can you capture some notes?
Some minor scratches.
Whoa, all right, that's great. Siri empowered, and you haven't written a line of code for this. That's great. I think actually, Sam, in the demo, you missed a required field.
Yep.
I think, so here is at this point, I'm sorry, we're just going to skip the last part, but at this point, the manager would receive a push notification through Salesforce1 or through the desktop experience. They will review the case, they will see the picture, and they will have very simple buttons to approve or send it back. And that actually concludes the demo. And then my fearless admin has built in 20 minutes now, but really if we weren't talking, it would have built in 3 minutes maybe. Possibility to capture notes on the field, get data from external systems, how to plan my day, and approve, then for me to submit on the road, and my manager to approve on the road. Isn't this amazing? This is all the things Sam has done today. Custom objects, external objects, custom action, the line app builder to build a today page or my inspections page, and then with the process builder, we have done approvals. Fantastic. So, we've been working with a lot of companies, right? And there's a couple of questions we hear all the time. I would say 3 questions we hear all the time. Number 1 question, is Salesforce1 secure? The answer is yes, it's an enterprise quality app. But we didn't stop just there. You can count on encryption on the local database. You can count on encrypted communication. These things are taken for granted, right? But we also took this a step further. We have actually a number of features around compliance, right? If you are in the healthcare industry, if you are in financial services, The regulations don't let you take screenshots of the application on the phone, may not let you export files from the application on the phone. These type of things. These are all features you can configure in Salesforce1 for all your users. Okay, so that's important. And of course, working in the enterprise, you know this. Some large companies use a mobile device management system to essentially manage all their devices for all their employees, right? And that's called the MDM, right? Mobile Device Management System. Things like Mobile Iron, AirWatch, Good Technologies. Well, we support all of them. I would say all the most important ones anyway, okay? And you can even get to a point in which you can automatically push out the Salesforce1. The user doesn't have to do anything. And since it's a trusted device and you know who that device is assigned to, you don't even have, you can essentially prevent your users from even typing username and password. You can log them in Salesforce1 and they don't have to even remember their password. That's pretty amazing, okay? Second question is, or it's not a question, it's an objection, I should say. Well, I'm like, this is great. This is the app for all my employees. Does everything I want, but I can't deploy it. It carries the Salesforce brand. We're not going to use Salesforce1. This is why I'm excited to tell you that this year we are launching My Salesforce1, which is the power of Salesforce1 available on the store for each one of our customers, but with their name for the application, with their brand and logo and their color scheme. It's all there. The beauty is that we as Salesforce keep all these apps updated in the store for you. And again, you just focus on the innovation part. That's pretty fantastic, right? That truly becomes your app. The CIO will look like a hero for deploying an app like that. They can claim that they built it internally, right? Yeah. Well, that's the point. All right, and the third one is, of course, what's next? Third question, what is coming? Now, Salesforce1 has a very, very lengthy roadmap, and we can stay in an entire hour to talk about this. I just picked 3 things here, which are on the platform side of things, okay? But be aware, it's a lot of things happening. So first of all, one of the things we hear a lot is I really want to scope the number of fields I see on mobile. On the desktop, you may see 100 fields. Can I see 10 fields on the phone? Well, we are going to deliver this very soon. So we call this project mobile layouts. The second one is that we have seen approvals in action, a second ago. And approvals is a very simple form of notifications with actions. But it's not yet customizable. Think about that in the future, you will be able to trap any record change, trap it into an event, push it out, and you will be able to decide what actions to associate to this notification. For instance, if you are an automatic assignment of a case, as an employee, you receive it on the phone, you will be able to say, OK, I accept this, or I call the customer right away, or I decline it. And you don't even need to run Salesforce1. You can see if you can do it, and you can do this from the lock screen on the phone. That's an important thing. And the third one is, you guys are familiar with this. Lightning is the next generation UX platform for Salesforce. It's a new generation UX in general for desktop, but also it's a framework for building apps. And you can expect that Salesforce1 and Lightning will always be aligned, okay? Finally, I want to take 1 second to really go through the entire mobile strategy. We talked a lot about Salesforce1, which is the first pillar of the mobile strategy of Salesforce. But keep in mind that we have 10 applications on the stores. You can download things like Wave to slice and dice business data, or the Marketing Cloud application, and so forth. If you guys don't know, there is also an application called the Salesforce Admin, Salesforce A. If you are admins, download it. It's actually pretty powerful. It will save your day. And the third part is, especially when you get into the B2C world, when you build applications for your consumers, not necessarily for your employees, keep in mind that we have a very powerful mobile SDK that will help you connect to the Salesforce backend, and you will be able to build really powerful applications with it. I want to leave you guys with a call to action. Everything we talked about today, the entire mobile strategy, and if you want inspirations and want to build next for your employees, be aware we have 5 amazing trails on Trailhead. Please go ahead, take a look, search for mobile. You're going to see them. It's going to inspire you. You're going to be better admins. You're going to always have mobile in mind. And with this one, I thank you all for being here today. I guess we have time for one question, maybe, if you want.
Could be quick.
You pick.
Just on the certificate-based authentication that you mentioned for MDM, can you describe that in kind of a bit more technical terms? How does it actually work? Because it's very important for enterprises.
Eugene, you want to take this?
It gets very technical. It gets very technical very fast. So let's take this offline so that other people have some questions too.
So you got, you know
Okay,
where it is.
we've got time for one more.
So in the help section on Salesforce website, there's a mention that templates for communities such as Partner Central or Napoli are not working in Salesforce1. But when we try, they seem to render somehow. Do you have any comments on this?
Yes.
Is this something that's going to come supported eventually? Or?
Yeah, so the experience we offer today is we respect the metadata, but not necessarily the look and feel. That's the kind of split. So we're like the core things are there, but it's not exactly. So in a nutshell, it's a long project to do, but we are going to bring them together. So you're going to see that thing, the Napoli template, actually running on Salesforce1.
You can come and grab Paolo, Eugene, or myself. We'll be at the back, but we've got to ship out for the next session. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.